Hello. The other day I did a video on inputs versus outputs in terms of driving success. And somebody asked me, I think, a good question. They said to me, do I have any system or process that helps me with that? And the answer is I do. And it's called routine. And I want to talk to you very briefly today about the concept of routine. One of the things you think about in advance is the idea of chunking, doing things at a certain time, i.e. putting things in your diary. So just keep that concept in mind as we go to this chat about routine. There's a great saying that I really like, that in terms of your health, what you can do in your 80s and 90s is a function of what you do in your 50s and 40s. And so if you want to be sane, healthy, supple, strong and so on and so forth in your 80s and 90s, you have to do something in your 40s and 50s. And I want to talk about that in terms of this idea of routine and inputs. So the inputs, clearly I'm not in control of the outputs. I'm not in control of whether I'm sane, healthy and so on when I'm 80 and 90, but I am in control of the inputs, the things I do right now. So I've built a routine around this. And we all know the Basel Ganglia, this thing of habits. The Basel Ganglia controls habits. And if you chunk out time and you have an habitual way of doing things, so every day at the same time you do certain things, it becomes a routine and it makes it super easy to do the inputs. And this applies in your personal life, like your health, I'm going to talk about in a moment, or it can equally apply in business. And I'll talk about that also as a quick example. So let's look at health for a moment. Let's look at spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial health. And say there are key issues in you being in good shape in your 80s and 90s, doing something about those in your 30s and 40s, so that you're successful in your 80s and 90s, i.e. you're living the way you want to live. So what are the things you can do right now in your 40s, your 50s, let's say for example, or your 20s, your 30s, whatever, to make that happen? And in spiritual, for example, you can meditate. You can practice meditation. I do it twice a day, morning and evening, 15 to 30 minutes. In terms of mental, you can read. I read an hour a day, so you can read every day. So you have a special time every day. When you sit down, you read. I like to do things in the morning, by the way. It sort of means they get done. I find if I don't do them in the morning, the day sort of takes over. So I like to chunk out time in the morning to do these things. In terms of emotional health, I'm actively practicing becoming more self-aware and more regulated and more socially aware and socially regulated. So I'm practicing asking questions, and I have a routine, little practice that I do every day. I journal every day. I record what happened during the day, and I typically do that in the morning or the evening. Say what happened, what have I learned, what experience did I have that I could have done better, and so on. In terms of physical health, well, diet is an obvious one. So you can have a routine. You just eliminate all the sugar and carbs out of your house, and you just don't eat them anymore. You can intermittent fast. So I only eat in an 8-hour block, and so 16 hours I don't eat. So I don't eat in the morning. I eat at lunchtime, my main meal, and I eat something light around 5-6 o'clock in the evening. That's it for the day. You can, in terms of exercise, you can stretch, you can do your push-ups, you can go running, you can do all these. So I have these scheduled every day. I do specific things every day at a specific time. And in terms of financial, you can have a little routine, a little habit if you wish, where when the check comes in every month, you automatically put 10% of it aside and say that 10% of everything is mine to keep, and you put it away. So they're just simple little things you can do in terms of routine to make it easy to manage the inputs. I mean, in a business environment, just take business development, for example, or sales, you can, instead of trying to look at the target and control the target, you can say I have a routine that every day I make 5 sales calls, or every day I make 1 video, or every day I do something, and every day you do this thing. And this is the input that will create the result, the output that you want. And you're being successful doing this input, but you do it because it's a routine, because you've built a little system around it. And that's really important. So just think about this concept of routine, of habit, that is the inputs that count, and the easiest way to manage these inputs, to make sure that these inputs actually happen, is to build habit and to build routine.